I usually don't sit around. Ooh, look at it. Well, I don't really give a shit, but I'm just saying it's a little extra. Made a mistake of actually calming it and, just letting it go. Anyway, I don't make a habit of sitting and ruminating over past events too long. Something happens like in the moment that brings up my attention, that attaches and then leads me to think about something that happened yesterday, or the day before, a week. I try not to stay there too long. Something came up that made me think of something, and it made me think that someone might be doing something to cause someone else undue stress, bad cycles, and blah 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 blah. Something came to my attention that this could be happening, and it could be happening to someone that maybe even deemed not even really my friend, maybe even an enemy or whatever. I don't really think that way, but still, I realize that I don't like other people fucking with other people, even if they are not really my friend. I don't want to see it. And then it got me thinking. No matter what I heard, no matter how I heard it, I came across this idea that someone was messing with someone else. I gotta look into it deeper. I gotta know. I don't know their whole situation. I don't know, take the two people involved, what they went through in their life from born to now. And the same with the other person from they were born to now. I don't know what they went through in their life. I don't know what their thought structures are. I don't know what they did to the other person that I don't know about on both directions. I don't know how many cycles they already went through. I don't know if they're authentic, if they're being true to each other, if they're not. I don't know anything about the situation. I just heard something, made me think it may be the case, and then I feel a little tinge that makes me. My old thought would be, "Ooh, that bitch better not be fucking with that person." Even though that person did me wrong, they, I better not find out that they're fucking with them or trapping them in some kind of way or something like that. That's the thought that came in my head, and I felt like blood, the beginning stages of blood boiling. I'm very aware now. So very beginning stages, I catch it so early, it doesn't ever gets there. I'm just like, ooh, yeah, I can see that going there. And then I realized the old way of thinking of it, new way, or way I've been cultivating for a long time, sneaking in on all my situations now is no, that's dissonance you're feeling. The beginnings of blood boiling, the very, very super beginnings. It's just dissonance. You're thinking or looking at something that either your higher being is not really looking at or thinking about. So you're veering off from your most preferred path, which is fine. You have your guidance. Snap back to it. That way I don't get upset that someone's trying to take advantage of someone, or someone's doing this or someone's doing that. Keep in mind that everyone has their own life situations, and most people bring forth, I use the word karma just so people know what I'm talking about, although I really don't like using that either. People bring so forth their own happenings throughout their own actions and thoughts, and everything. While sometimes things may get off into a little unbalance, it always self-corrects into balance. You got to know that, and so you don't get upset when you think someone might be taking advantage of someone. They're matched perfectly for each other, for the two people, the three people, the country, the world, whatever, to learn what they need to learn. Instead of just wanting to confront someone with the kind of mentality of a bald fist, and so what do you think you're doing to this person? Kind of deal. Instead of that, because I'm taking the dissonance as me being instantly upset that this person is even thinking about fucking with the other person in any way. Instead of just thinking I'm about to boil over and fuck some shit up, I know that's my indication that I am actually going off the path. My inner being, God, is not thinking about that, or at least not in the way that I'm thinking about it. If God or my inner being is thinking about that, they're thinking about it in a way that builds us up with appreciation and gratitude. They already know that this is the perfect situation for you to learn what you need to know, and they are already appreciating it to the immense abilities that they can, which is why when you do not, and you think in a way that's a little too variant, you feel it. And now you're not going to get confused and just think that you're pissed off at this person for even attempting to fuck with this other person. No, You're not pissed off. You are riding off the road. You're hitting the rumble strips on the side of the road. Come back on. You know everything happens for a reason. So get really encompassing these notions and bringing them into your everyday life. And you have to prove to yourself, without anyone else around, that this kind of stuff is true. Nothing else is going to work. Prove it to yourself without anyone else around, however long that takes you to take years, that this stuff is true. Prove it to yourself. Only way. It's the only way that I can tell. I would have never took anyone's full word for this shit, ever. I would have took my little beaker glass and microscope out and proved it to myself. Anyway, so that's that. I think I'll title this Learning the Difference Between Your Guidance System and your ego getting hurt, or graduating from you did me wrong-ism to I'm always being guided-ism.